testing, 1, 2, 3. There's a name for the first 10 to 20 years of an increase in spend that's disproportionate. It's called boom time. And during boom time, there's a thing that happens to every organization, regardless of size. And that is, every company becomes a little bit of a startup company. Because you have to compete. You have to go to the roots of the new industrial revolution. And so you got to draw on your entrepreneurial spirits. And as a result of that, every executive has to become a little bit of a startup executive. Now, what I'm hoping to do today is over the next 20 minutes, before lunch, by the way, which is tough, I'm going to give you a certificate in being an entrepreneur. We're going to print it out. We'll get it to you. Don't worry, or I'll text it to you. I've been a startup person for the last 7 years. This is what being a startup looks like. It's crazy, okay? And that's not my first startup. Prior to that, I did another one in privacy where I tried to create a 31st human right to classify human data as human property. Absolutely insane. But I wasn't always a startup guy. I was a suit. I say that with flattery. I was in the healthcare industry running a private equity roll-up. Here I am on the cover of a magazine. I was in Wall Street, doing IPOs with technology, running next-generation business cases. And so the journey for me went from enterprise to entrepreneurship. And I was pretty sure I was good at entrepreneurship when I went over that red line, right? In my first job, I created a way to connect the Visual Basic compiler with the CICS mainframe. Boom, you're good at it, right? Second job, dynamic PDFs and unitization for illiquid funds, and by the third one, working with Apple. And I was pretty sure, that's it, I can do this entrepreneurial thing. Are you kidding? So I went over, and it turned out none of my instincts transferred over. As a matter of fact, they worked against me. And so as you think about how you're going to go into entrepreneurship, just a little bit of it, maybe 5% as a CXO, you're going to have to remember that your instincts are working against you. I had to unlearn for about 3 years before I actually started to cultivate the entrepreneurial instincts. And so I had to relearn. Now I'm going to give you some advice. Again, I promised a certificate in entrepreneurship at the end of this. Before I give you that advice, I want to share what I've been working on so you can see what someone goes through in order to be able to pull this off. So I've been working on a piece of technology called an airspace. I've been working with different brands, Goldman, Ralph Lauren, Chanel, Capital One, you name it. I'm going to show you what we've been doing with Verizon. And I'm sharing this with you, so when I start to give you some of the advice, it may make sense. Now, this technology is called airspace. What I'm going to demonstrate to you is this website that I am on right now is going to turn into an entire interactive airspace, and I'm going to engage with it. This is called the Verizon Air Store. This is the future of retail for Verizon. And I chose to show Verizon because they're the most innovative client we've been working with for the last 2 years. Okay? So, first, let me just send a message to my team. Hey, Alan, I'm going to go in the Air Store with Jackie. She's going to call you in a second. My entire engineering team has not slept last night. This is the first time I'm showing this on stage, and I'm showing it live. The next time I'm going to show it is when we launch at Dreamforce. So enjoy the show. I'm going to go ahead and log in.
Welcome to the Verizon Airspace. I'm Mia, your virtual concierge. Behind these doors, our dedicated team is hard at work generating a personalized virtual store just for you.
Now, immediately, you'll notice that I start to move around, and this thing is moving around to my face. It feels like an Apple Vision Pro. I can lean in and look around the store. I can come out. I can look at my Salesforce data, which was used to generate this store on the right-hand side. I can look at the human agent's data on the left-hand side. This entire store was generated on the fly, and it's going to be regenerated constantly. This is an ontology of prompt generating technology that's orchestrating about 24 models in real time. There's about 12 that's running in the cloud, and about 12 that's running on the edge. So this is Jackie. She's called an air teller. Every airspace that we build comes with an air teller, and you'll see the magic behind this in a second. I'm going to start to engage with Jackie now. Hey, Jackie, how you doing?
Hi there. Welcome to our virtual store. I'm Jackie, your personal shopping assistant. Feel free to explore our latest promotions and devices. Let me know if you have any questions.
Now remember, my data is already in here, so she knows what I need to see. Show me your promotions. Show me any promotions that you think make sense for me. Jackie? Oh, okay. A little bit of an internet lag there.
Great. We have some exciting promotions available.
Now, I want you to think about this experience here. I'm engaging with a virtual teller that's operating the store, and all of my signals are engaging this store with her. Go back to the previous one. Go back to the previous one. And if I want to move to that side, boom. Tell me the details around this promotion.
Check out the iPhone 15 promo. With pre-order, you can get the device for just $100 with eligible trade-in. Plus, enjoy 50% off activation fees and a free case.
Okay, I accept this offer. Show me devices. Because I accepted that offer.
Here are the latest models I suggest we explore.
Anything that I do with my hands or my voice, I could do with the mouse as well. Show me the details on this iPhone 15. Tell me more.
The iPhone 15 boasts a powerful A17 Bionic chip, 5G speeds, and an advanced dual-camera system. It's a top choice for performance and photography.
I should get this phone, right? I would like to select this phone.
Great choice. Before completing your purchase, do you have any final questions about the device or available plans? If not, I'll transfer you to a specialist to finalize the details.
I definitely want to talk to a specialist.
Hello, Richie. Jackie, could you please catch me up?
Of course. The customer has shown interest in the iPhone 15, and we've reviewed features and current promotions. They're ready to select the phone, so I wanted to hand off to you for any final inquiries and to ensure a seamless purchase process.
Well, hold on there, Jackie. Alan, I'm not sure about this phone. What's special about it?
Well, here, let me show you.
Now remember, Jackie was super helpful. This is a human now. I sent him a voice note earlier. Oh, so this is the flux capacitor of the phone. This is how it works. You know, I'm really a camera guy. What's up with the camera on the phone?
Hey, Jackie. Remind me what's great about the iPhone 15 Pro's camera. Thank you.
So she's just going to answer the question?
The iPhone 15 Pro has a powerful Pro camera system with 7 Pro lenses, a 48MP main camera for high-resolution photos, and a 3x telephoto camera for sharp close-up.
I think the echo is working against me. All right, Alan, I'll take the phone.
Great. Close.
Now, if you think about the engineering that has to happen here.
Select phone.
This is insanity from an engineering standpoint. You're looking at edge AI, you're looking at spatial technology, you're looking at generative models, all running at the same time. I just signed from my phone, by the way. I accept this order. Okay, real quick. So Jackie was super helpful. Obviously, this is a web space that comes with a web teller. These are generated from your website and your documents. We don't write a single line of code from this. This is all driven by Salesforce. what you're looking at is AWS, Salesforce, Unity, and NVIDIA models working together. Alan is also helpful. Alan, share your tools for me and your perspective. This is what Alan was seeing. He's looking out of the store. Alan is helpful because he's being assisted as well from all the signals that are coming in here. So I would like to cancel my plan. If I say that, it updates Salesforce in real time, and it changes. I'd like to cancel my plan. I think the echo is working against me. That updates Salesforce in real time. All of his stuff is going to change over here. If I open up this iPhone 15 promotion that was given for here, these are things on the top here. This is a heads-up display that Alan sees that the customer does not see, and they change. Remember, it was cancel plan, so it's 0% financing. I'd like to add a new line. This intention is going to change the entire system again. I'd like to add a new line. Echoes. Next time I do this on stage, I'll have to remember echoes. If I go to promotions now and I do this, yep, it should generate something new. That's the end of the demo. Remember, I just wanted to show you what I was working on, so when I share my remarks with you, it'll come from a place that maybe has some experience. Thank you very much. Give Alan and Jackie a round of applause. You glad you stuck by? Absolutely. Awesome. So, how do you go through building something like that? We've been engineering for 3 years, bankruptcy more than once. I had a mental health problem. At one point, we had 80 engineers. At one point, we were down to 7. When we show this at Dreamforce, everything is going to be production grade. When you build this type of stuff, your enterprise instincts work against you. Here's the first thing. A lot of people think about entrepreneurship as like, it's a small company, it's a small size. That really has nothing to do with it. It's about the stage at which you're in. That's where your instincts have to be honed on the stage of innovation. You are not capturing value as you do in the enterprise. You are creating value, and it's fundamentally different because you're trying to create value in something that didn't exist before. Your mindset has to be completely different around it. You have to unlearn and you have to relearn. This is Alvin Toffler, by the way. Okay, one of the greatest minds and futurists I think was ever alive. Relearning is hard. Learning is easy compared to relearning. As you rewire your instincts around entrepreneurship, the problem with relearning is there's also something in the space that you're going to go relearn in. So when you're learning, it's an empty space in your head. Just bring the information, pop it in. But then you unlearn and you try to relearn, but you already have a bias in your head, and that takes intentionality to go past the bad stuff. So here's where I was when I tried to cross over that red line from the enterprise into entrepreneurship. Let's move fast. Let's include everyone. And yes, let's focus on quick wins. Yes. If you're doing evolutionary transformation, as I was doing in the enterprise, that's fantastic. But in boom time, you better find revolutionary value because guess what? Everybody in the world has the same LLM that you have. And the same enterprise data that you have. The last panel talked about enterprise data. I absolutely agree. But guess what? Goldman Sachs' enterprise data is not that different from Barclays' enterprise data. I know people don't agree with me on that, but I've been in multiple banks. Let me tell you, it's the same data, okay? So we will change the wheels on the bus while we're driving. Who's ever heard this? Oh, yeah. You can't do revolutionary with that. Or we're going to include everyone. I remember doing an innovation jam while I was at UBS, right? So I was like, oh, we're going to do this social mobile thing. I'm going to do an innovation jam, brought IBM in, do an innovation jam. And I remember my head of operations saying to me, Richie, you're trying to create about 1,000 of you, right? And I'm like, well, not really. He's like, don't be modest. Come on. You're trying to create 1,000 of you. And I'm like, well, okay. And he's like, do you have any idea what chaos would ensue in this bank if we had 1,000 of you? I'm like, holy shoot, that makes sense. And the other thing that I was doing is, let's focus on quick wins, because quick wins are how we're going to transform. here is what I learned. You have to slow the bus down in order to find the revolutionary opportunities. And that's because you have to get to the detail. You have to understand the workflows. You have to understand the value exchanges. You got to get to the level of detail that says this button on this app has been clicked 5.2 million times last year. And 5% of those times, people are clicking on it twice, and 10% of the times, it's being returned more than 15 seconds of lag. That's the level that you have to get to. And if you don't get there, it's because you're driving the bus because you can't condition the board that you have to create a J-curve to actually drive revolutionary value because you have the tact of quarterly performance, so you gotta keep the bus going. That's the difference. Let's get everybody involved. Anybody ever seen 5-year-olds play soccer? I got a 5 and a 7-year-old, okay? Everybody runs to where the ball is, and then everybody runs to the other side of the ball, and then everybody runs to the back of the field where the ball is. It's very hard to take 20,000 people and come up with an idea and achieve what you just saw on screen. It's a few people. And I know that sounds crazy. Like, we don't want to create an ivory tower. Name me one big innovation that came from more than 12 people, and I'll buy you lunch. The next thing is, you cannot focus on quick wins. Yes, there's a party organization that has to do quick wins, but there has to be a party organization that's going big. And you know why? Because quick wins are dopamine hits. And what happens when you get a couple of dopamine hits? You're happy and you're satisfied. This is how the companies that win in boom times win in boom times. So, a few people going slow, going big. That's how I got there. The hard thing about hard things is they're hard. And there's a difference between working hard on things and working on hard things. And that's where the entrepreneurial spirit lies. Now, once you start working on hard things, I still got good 4 minutes. Nice, I'm doing well. You guys will get to lunch on time. Once you start working on hard things, it's going to get hard. And the first people that are going to question your sanity are the brightest minds that work with you. They're going to come to you and go, what's up, man? This thing's not working. And that's where you have to stick to your vision. Okay? Imagine the Wright brothers trying to make mankind fly. Do you know how many times someone must have come to them and say, hey, man, why are we wasting time? What's up? One person just fell and died the other day. You know, everybody's saying this is not going to work. What do you want us to do? You got to make up stuff right away because you got to hold the vision. You got to say, you ever seen flying fish? Come on, if fishes could fly, we could fly. The next thing that's going to happen is that the breakthroughs that you're looking for are going to be found behind the dumpster fire. There's a VC in the room, I think, this lady with the scarf right here. You heard the phrase, the startup's in the dumpster fire? You ever heard that phrase? That's when everything just goes to crap and there's nothing to come out of it. That's where the great things are. They're behind the dumpster fire. I had bankruptcy twice. I had most of my investors bail on me because for 6 months, we couldn't get the engineering to work. You were looking at the web experience that runs on any browser, any device in the world. Okay? You got to get through the dumpster fire in the enterprise. What happens in the enterprise? As soon as things get hard and the dumpster fire starts, everybody bails and gets another job. And this is where your mission holds people through the dumpster fire. Our mission at Mobeus is we don't want our kids to live like this. That's it. And while we were in the dumpster fire and I was going through mental health and had to get on pharmaceuticals just to stay alive, I kept telling the team, don't quit on me because we don't want a world like this. And you have to take a little bit of that and hone it and bring it into the enterprise. And the last thing you must do as a startup entrepreneur is you got to have strong opinions, but you got to hold them weakly. The bottom line is, great ideas are a high conviction, low consensus story. And you got to remember that there are things that you know, things that you don't know, and finish the sentence for me. Come on, guys. Things you don't know that you don't know. Okay? So, I hope that everybody here, wow, this is amazing, 3 seconds left. I hope that everybody here walked away with some value. I know you're going to want to ask me how the technology works. I'm going to be around at lunch. Look for the red sweater. And I'm happy to talk to you about it. And I'm happy to demonstrate our first AirTeller, Jackie, to you. Sorry about the echoing that messed up the voice to text. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you very much.